What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. Celsius updates the last time they were in court, which was today. I'm going to go over the major updates, most of it regarding people who had money in custody. So I'm going to touch on the custody settlement agreement and also why Celsius, the debtors, want that agreement as well. Talking a little bit about the next time they are before the court in a few days. Then going over a pro se creditor saying that Celsius was operating as a Ponzi scheme and what that means. A little update with the examiner. I'll touch on the Celsius Custody Telegram group, going over some updates from Celsius, some updates from Krissy Mashinsky, Alex's wife, a little bit from Cam Cruz talking about how much money the legal fees and lawyers have sucked out of the estate, some updates from Simon Dixon, a little more from Cam Cruz summarizing what happened with custody today, and then quickly going over Simon Dixon's tweets from what happened in court today. Now, the first one I'd like to talk about, the custody settlement agreement. So this applies to people who have money in custody, which is not most people. Most people have their money in earn. So this has been talked about for a while, but essentially you would get two distributions of 36.25% of the money that you have in custody. And this is more information from the Celsius ad hoc group, Togut, Siegel, and Siegel. So if this applies to you, you'll have 30 days to elect to participate in this custody settlement and receive the initial distribution. So again, there will be two installments of the distribution, but in total, you'll receive 72.5% of your custody balance. And what's good about custody is that this will be distributed to you in kind, meaning if you had, let's say, 1 Bitcoin, you would get 0.725 Bitcoin back, which is awesome because custody basically is not property of the estate, so they are not dollarizing your claims like they are for people in earn. So that means you are getting literally the amount of coins that you get back, which I think is very, very good. So if you agree with this settlement, you will receive this 72.5% and be free and clear. You will be released from any type of clawbacks for your custody balance. What's good is that if you participate in the settlement and later it is determined that you are eligible to receive more than 72.5% under Celsius's Chapter 11 plan, you are entitled to receive those additional amounts. If you do not participate in this settlement and instead choose to pursue a 100% return of your custody assets, Celsius's bankruptcy estates, like the litigation trust, could pursue all causes of action against you with respect to your custody assets, including preference claims, meaning clawbacks. So this letter from Togut, Siegel, and Siegel, the law firm representing custody, is encouraging people to participate in this settlement because then you'll avoid the risk of time-consuming and expensive litigation over your assets and obtain a guaranteed return of at least 72.5%, which can increase based on what happens with the Chapter 11 plan. And the debtors, meaning Kirkland and Ellis, meaning Celsius, also agree with this plan as well. So some people who oppose to this plan are saying that, well, people with less than $100,000 would get 100% of their recoveries. What Kirkland is saying is that this preference threshold, meaning you'll get all of your money if it's less than 100K, is not a part of the settlement because this 100K is basically from NovaWulf, or from the debtors, I should say, and this can change. So they're just going over some objections to some of these people. Kirkland says that there is no preference avoidance threshold in the settlement. The settlement from custody provides that to the extent better treatment is provided to custody claims under the plan, then settling custody account holders shall receive the better treatment. So they are basically in support. And if I had my funds in custody, I would probably take this plan and run. I would get out, I would take my 72.5% immediately in kind, meaning it's in crypto, and I would then do whatever I want with it, probably keep it for the next potential bull run that I think will happen. What's really good is that current and former employees and insiders of Celsius cannot participate in the settlement. What does that mean? It means that current and former employees and insiders will get clawed back, or they will have the litigation trust probably look at their custody accounts and they won't be able just to walk away scot-free, free and clear. And Cam Kruse summarizes this very well, saying that the custody settlement is approved. This will be optional for customers, 30 days to review. Those who opt in will get that 72.5% of their claim in 2 distributions, 36.25% up front, and the remainder upon plan resolution or at the end of the year. Those custody members who wish to press for 100% of their coins may be subject to preference claims. Those who accept 72.5% settle these claims, meaning there will not be any preferences against them. And again, employees and insiders are ineligible for this settlement. And if you have custody and you are not following Tony on Twitter, I suggest you do. Here is his handle right here. And also you can join the Celsius Custody Accounts group. Right now, it looks like there are 1,409 members, so just make sure you join the correct group. So the next time they are in court will be in 2 days on the 23rd, and they will talk more about NovaWulf, so more information then. Next, we have Ignat Tuganov, a pro se creditor, but he is working through a professional law firm, essentially saying that Celsius operated like a Ponzi scheme, and the defendant's estates, meaning all of Celsius Networks LLCs, should be substantively consolidated. And if you're like me and needed a primer on what the hell substantive consolidation was, and it basically means that you are combining the entities and treating it as one single enterprise. And what that would do, in my opinion, is that would allow us, the creditors, to have claim, or title, I should say, over the mining, which Judge Glenn recently said, unfortunately, that we do not have title over. So just to sum up what he's saying is that Celsius was a Ponzi from and after at least the spring of 21 through the petition date. Celsius's businesses were operating as a single, hopelessly intertwined enterprise, such that the defendant, meaning Celsius's estates, all of these different estates right here, should be substantively consolidated for purposes of these Chapter 11 cases. And therefore, the terms of use are all deemed null and void. So he is fighting, basically, to get title over everything, which we had up until basically the Series B equity holders fought very, very hard, and Judge Glenn ruled in their favor. So he gives a lot of information, a lot of which was more or less in the Examiner report, talking about how Celsius was run and essentially just how ridiculous the whole thing was. Next, we have a notice of hearing. Basically, the examiner wants to discharge itself, which I found very funny. The examiner filed the report, her final report, and has completed the duties. Therefore, the examiner requests to be discharged from any further obligations with respect to her duties. To me, I found this funny because it seems like the examiner is like, you know what? I'm out. Screw this. Celsius is a mess. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. And they're like, can I please leave? It almost feels like she's raising her hand, being like, am I done? Can I leave? And next we have some information about some amended claims. I was scrolling through this. It's just people mostly changing their addresses and whatnot. But the DC Department of Insurance and Securities Banking, yikes, $32.3 million. That's a huge claim against Celsius. So next, let's take a quick look at what Krissy did, because, you know, why not? She dropped a limited edition Unbank Yourself t-shirt. This is not fake, guys. This is from a few days ago. Let me see, when was this? March 16th. So I am very late to the story. I am like a week late, but whatever. She is still making t-shirts at her company saying, Unbank Yourself. It is absolutely crazy. Next, we have Cam Kruse saying, how much did the Celsius lawyers and advisors take from the estate? Well, it has passed $140 million in fees. Kirkland and Ellis taken a whopping 33.9%. And much of the recap from Simon Dixon over what happened in court today is regarding this custody settlement, but ultimately that is it for the video. So what are we doing right now? Well, if you were in custody, you should join that Telegram group so you can make sure to stay up to date on that. If you do want to participate, you will know how to do that. If it were me, I would probably just take the 72.5% and bounce at this point and get that crypto, stick it in a hardware wallet like a Ledger, link below, affiliate link for that if you don't have a hardware wallet, and just go on your merry way. So right now, for most of us, meaning an earn, we are waiting to see if there's going to be another bidder that the UCC wants to use rather than NovaWulf. Remember that NovaWulf is not confirmed. What we got in the term sheet that I covered like a week or two ago, that is not confirmed either. A lot of those things are going to be negotiated. So we are just waiting right now for NovaWulf to come out with a disclosure statement, which should come out by the end of this month, so about 10 days or so. And that will have everything that we are wanting. For one, which most people want, is if you are in earn, how much money am I going to get back immediately? And then how much of that is going to be in equity tokens, and really getting into the weeds of that. But again, we may not even pick NovaWulf, and there may be an entirely different sponsor, or it may freaking go to Binance. Who knows at this point, guys? So guys, that's it. There are links below if you want to pick up a hardware wallet. I get a little bit of money for that. I also have my retirement account, my IRA with iTrust Capital, link below for that as well. And if you're tired of Celsius, I will be making more content about different topics, a lot more coming up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.